There it is. And that one. All right. Let me know if Kick works. Oh wow. Thanks. Um I I was actually I was told about Kick a while back, but it wasn't kind of readily available. So I was like, all right. And I saw that it was readily available now. So I signed up for something in between calls today. So where do we go? Oh, and I can see the comments. There we go. And I can actually put them on. All right. Well, welcome everyone on Kick. Welcome on Facebook, YouTube. Actually, I should add Twitter, even though, yeah, I should just add Twitter. Let's go. Let me find Twitter. There we go. Find that I don't exist account. So I thought today one thing that we should refer to is a term that a lot of people don't use, and I've been using for a bit, and only people that are into certain films, I guess, right? Is that how we're going to say it? Certain films would possibly refer to it. Give me a second. What is going on here? This is like one screen things. So here we go. All right. So people that are fanatics about movies and stuff, know this term very well. But unpersoning, just so people understand, refers to denying a person's humanity, right? Denying the fact that someone is even human, right? Making them subhuman, not human, just anything that would allow you to treat them as such. So they deny the person's humanity, they deny their identity, their personhood, and it's a form of social or political ostracization. Now, all of us observed all of that happening back in 2020 and 2021 when we were not allowed to go out into public with masks unless masks and those that were not vaccinated. Unpersoning is exactly the example I gave years ago for a purpose. And I'll revisit that example. There was a case that I had studied when I was taking some college classes at London South Bank University about evil children. The evil children dilemma. And so what happened there is that a bunch of children, and you guys can look this up because this is case law, I guess. So these children, were out in a field somewhere. I mean, this is how I pictured it when I read the case, okay, that they were out in a field, right? Because they were in a field, but I've pictured like the scenario, like Little House on the Prairie somewhere in England. So what happened was these children were walking about, we're talking young ages, we're talking single digits, under 9 years old, okay? And so they were all there and they had their baby sibling, cousin, to some of them with them. And I know most of you remember, if you've, followed me for years, you know the story where they took this baby with them and the mom was inside doing chores or whatever. And what the kids did was they unpersoned the baby. Now, how they did that was they dismembered this baby. This infant was literally dismembered by children. They put him on the train tracks and the baby started to cry. They tied him up to the train tracks and then they spilled paint, like green or blue paint, on the baby's face. So that way it doesn't look human anymore. That was a visual cue of how to unperson something, right? Put a mask, a bag over their head, right? A lot of people say put a bag on your head or anything like that. And the and in the end the baby was killed by these children, and they called it the evil children theory. And they started to study to see if evil was inherent or was it something that is innate to some people. So there were a bunch or there were a bunch of people. What is going on here? Okay. There were a bunch of people that joined in on that debate. But the thing here is that unpersoning someone can have many levels of things. You can tell yourself that person is not a human being because they're a different color. They could be black, they could be white. So they don't deserve human respect. Another level is what people say about fire crotches, right? Gingers, they're all evil. So you can unperson a ginger, right? Just look at how this is going. Or people that are, mentally insane are inhumane. So don't look at them. They don't deserve rights. Or I don't know, anyone living in Palestine is now a terrorist. So I don't care if you're a kid, you deserve to die too. These are the things that people do to unperson. And like those children, they put blue paint over their face, or like I had said with the masks, the mask. So that way you can't see someone's face and they're talking to you like this. And you don't know what kind of person they are. They're just talking, right? All mumbled and stuff. Unpersoned, right? We have a lot of unpersoning going around lately, and it's really hard to watch it. And the fact that society is at the point where they're okay with unpersoning is even more disheartening. Now, this is a practice that should be completely discouraged. When I saw people that were adults and professionals, claiming that, oh, follow the rules, you must do this, or beating people up at Bed Bath and Beyond. I mean, do you guys not forget that? Right? Did you? How they were beating you up? I remember at Costco, that dude, that Karen, who was on the other side of the store, I was minding my own business. He demanded I wear a mask, even though the closest human being to me was 25 feet away, because I wasn't wearing my mask. I was not allowed to buy groceries, thanks to the Karen. And this is why I canceled my Costco membership, mine. Other people are like, well, they did it, so, it's done now. They were all stupid. We should still give them our patronage. I refuse when I remember. Like Victoria's Secrets, I don't let my kids go there. I'm like, hey, go to Soma. Soma, if you're watching this, I will sell your bras and underwear that are higher quality, right? And you have no pedos. And they weren't modeled after men that became women or children. That was the biggest secret. So it's important, that we understand that there are many levels of unpersoning. And we have seen this happen so many times, right? And not only by, conspiracies to obfuscate the real reasons of, causing human duress, but this happens in war. And you see it in media. The cliques, they unperson other people that do good work are silenced because they're not part of the group. So they're unpersoned. They're not considered a journalist because they're not in their group. I hope you are catching my drift. Now, when a person or a group of people, I keep looking behind. Do you guys want to look at the view? Like, it's pretty awesome. Hold on. Let's see. Will that regulate the camera? Can the camera focus? It's still bright outside. I'm trying to move. There we go. Yeah, it's really pretty. It's really fucking cold too. All right, so when people are unpersoned, they're stripped of their human qualities and rights, making it very easy for others to justify harming them or denying them basic human rights. I see it around our nation with the homeless population, with the drug addicts, or even with our prisoners. There are a lot of people that are in my chat sometimes that are okay with prisoners that are in jail, right? Getting experimental vaccines, getting hurt or being used as lab rats because they're bad people. So they deserve that, right? Now, this leads to a lot of forms of discrimination. Now that I just saw that too. Someone trolling me. So now that leads to persecution and violence, and to victims that are seen less than human, and therefore they don't deserve your empathy, respect, or protection. Now that's not okay, right? That is definitely not okay, because history has provided us so many examples of unpersoning that can lead to atrocities. Now, I'm going to take a step up and say everyone's been taught about the Holocaust, correct? That the Nazis dehumanized the Jews, calling them all vermin and they should all die, right? Didn't they? Well, aren't they doing the same thing to Palestinians right now? It's pretty ironic, because they're not killing terrorists, they're killing anybody. And that's not okay. That is really not okay. And that's to justify systemic extermination, aka genocide. That's how the Turkish people thought of the Armenians that were Christians and causing rot in their country, right? This is something that we need to understand. Similarly, during the times of yore, where the whole world, not just the United States, had slaves, because down the river Niger they went, hence where the derogatory term comes from. Their own people were selling them, right? People were unpersoning them too, to make it okay to have slaves because they were a different color. So that's fine, you know? And so unpersoning can occur on multiple scales. Grand scale, paint, wide brush, just paint it. But it happens on smaller scales too. Through some interactions, like I mentioned, I see journalists talking about other journalists, and I'm like, I'm sorry, how qualified are you? You are just as qualified as Hunter Biden was to sit on a board. Out of my face, right? I want to say that so many times, I actually do, to their face. To I do. I mean, I don't know. It's not an age thing, right? Yesterday, I had a conversation with someone who is over 70, and, they were like, hey, I've seen wars. Like, I don't care anymore. I don't care if tsunami hits. I don't care if comets come. I don't care if earthquakes come. I really just don't care anymore. I just want to go about and do whatever I can for myself and just live. And I think maybe we're all at that point now. This is what the awakening is about, to say enough with this rubbish and let's get back to common sense and just cooperating for existence and developing ourselves as human beings, not individuals. Now, hate speech, bullying, all that is a way of unpersoning, kind of like we've seen where they've taken it over the top, claiming white people have no voice. You shouldn't talk. You're white. You're privileged. It's like, I don't have free scholarships just because of the color of my skin. Number one, I don't have sororities based on the color of my skin either. I don't get people giving me grants just because of the color of my skin. Okay. So I don't think I'm actually, privileged in any way. In other ways, it is merited, because we do see that there is a systemic racism. And again, we're going to go back to what that means, because, there are a lot of people I have crossed paths with that are legit racist, but they're not just legit racist against Blacks. They're against Chinese and, Orientals, let's say, right? Is that politically correct? Actually, I give zero fucks if it is. But people are inherently racist. And I'm going to say this, not because they unperson them, but because they're different. Anything you see different, you're scared of. What if right now I lifted my hair and you saw that I had, I don't know, a computer interface? A lot of you would be terrified. Terrified. Why? Because I'm different. Which different means what? Let's think back to the X-Men movies. The X-Men, why were they being prosecuted? Because they were all very powerful. And so therefore, they can take people out. Therefore, they must be eradicated because they are a threat, because they are different. It's pretty simple. So, as we're talking about this unpersoning, I have to say, I am so disheartened to see all of it go, go, go. It's been perpetuated throughout decades. This unpersoning, slight here, slight there, slight here, rather than going to the source of things, which is we're all scared of things that do. Like one day, say you wake up and your dog, Rufus, is like, oh, can I get some coffee too? You will shit your pants in the kitchen as you are making the coffee. You're going to check to see if you've taken any expired drugs. You will question the meaning of life from top to bottom. Because why? Because that's different. And maybe 50% of you will probably take your handgun out of your bedroom drawer and shoot Rufus that you've had for 7 years because now he's having a conversation with you and asking you for coffee. You see, this is the root. And once you understand the demon and you call it by its name, then all the other levels from small to big are defeated. So right now we have a innate amplification of fear of people that are different. Obviously, the whole Gaza war, not so the case. It's a real estate deal finished. But we have other things to talk about. Today, I just wanted to focus really quickly. And again, I apologize for such a late show. I've been time hopping through various time zones, and I will be. So I sincerely apologize for the delays. Did you just photobomb me? All right. Tomorrow. So as I travel getting things done, I observe a lot of things. I observe which airlines are doing what. I observe prices, right? Hotels across the nation are extremely, extremely high. I observe people. And one thing I observe is the migrants. And I'm being distracted. So here's what I want to show you. Here's the receipts. And I just want to say, for many of you out there that are watching, I know there's a lot of people out there that are bleeding hearts. But I was actually in the presence of people yesterday talking about homeless people and drug addicts. Actually, there was a video of some celebrity saying he's glad that, Perry died because all drug addicts should die. And people have been making him recall that statement, right? I seem to have amiss his name. But I was in the presence of a conversation discussing homelessness, and I realized now they're unpersoning. See, they make homeless camps. They sit there. They create garbage. Most of them are addicted to drugs, and it's just a perpetual circle. One thing this individual said during the conversation where they were having with someone else, right, in my presence, and I just observed was, well, what happens is they buy out this hotel, they put all the homeless people destroy it, and then they ask for more money, and then they get another cheap hotel. So it's like a cycle of making money. So they understand that perpetuating homelessness rather than targeting the problem is a moneymaker. And so a lot of people start to hate the homeless population to the point that they're unpersoned, that they don't deserve anything. Almost like that gentleman that said the same thing about drug addicts, right? Addiction is a disease. We are addicted every day. The Fonjul brothers, you should look them up, run the world. 98% of all sugar produced is from those two brothers. And guess what those two brothers also do? One funds Democrats, the other one funds Republicans. Oh, but Tori, it's Microsoft. It's, this, it's not, oh, but it's not the sugar in every single piece of bread, not the sugar in your food, not the sugar in everything we have has sugar. And the Fanjul brothers, Fanjul, run the world. They're in Florida. You should look them up. You shouldn't have to sit there and wait for someone to tell you. If you want to protect yourself, you should have knowledge. That is your business, not mine. And it's surely not the media's business, of course, because there is no media. It's all propaganda. And so, and even the ones that are alternative are also propaganda because they have sponsors. So they can only say the things they are allowed to say. Now, I will be in Texas soon, just saying. Not this week, but I will be in Texas very soon. Let me share a receipt, one of them, so we can start this discussion. We'll start off with the backpack. Now, for those of you that travel and for those of you that are pilots that are keeping an eye out for Americans, and I appreciate all of you pilots out there doing the work of Atlas, keeping your eyes open, paying attention, documenting everything in your mind, of course, so you don't have any issues. And making sure that the people of the United States are safe. So I'd like to say to all our pilots that are working under such conditions, thank you. Now here's what I'm going to show you. For those of you traveling, this is what every single migrant has on their baggage. It's a DHS baggage check or cabin baggage or whatever you want to call it on their bags. This is how you identify all the migrants. For those of you that travel through airports, you will see thousands of them if you're on a layover for more than an hour, walking around and in droves. And they also carry folders. So here's another thing. Are they not human? Of course they are. What do we do? Why are they putting us in the position that we should unperson people? Hear me out to what I'm telling you. They are putting you and I in the position to decide if they should live or if you should live. Many of you be like, well, it's my country. I hope you're paying attention. Now that's the bag. That way you can identify them. If you're out in hotels or you see people walking around on the street with them, you'll understand. Let me move it along. Now, if you guys remember, back in the day, I think a few years ago, I was all over Lutheran Social Services. Why? Because I found the connection where Ilhan Omar was taken from her Al-Shabaab group. They're more terrorist funded, Africa, Middle East, right? For the Lutheran Social Services, they work with Kenya, other African states, and Middle Eastern nations, including Turkey. They bring unaccompanied minors. There are a few states in this nation that have unaccompanied minors. One of them is North Dakota. Oh, which, by the way, another selected member has been arrested for child gross sexual imposition on a minor, being a pedo, basically. And that person was also mentioned in one of my numerous filings, either federal, civil, whatever, or responses to the other pedo, the attorney general that killed himself when he was being indicted, the one that trashed my name for calling him out, right? Well, now we're going to talk about this. It's another company, Catholic Community Services, Lutheran Social Services, Catholic Community Services, Lutheran Social Services, Catholic Community Services. Now, why am I bringing them up? Again, let's compare the names. Lutheran Social Services, Catholic Community Services. Do you see how they operate? They're responsible for the migrants. Well, at least for now, we know in Arizona. So for all my Arizonians, I think you should be having a conversation with people. I think you should be talking and digging and providing some of that information to your candidate, Kari Lake, for Senate or whatever it is, or whoever you want to give it to. But maybe you should get on it. Now, why am I telling you this? Well, all of these people that are coming through the border are caught, right? But then they're told that, hey, once you're caught, you're going to have to come to court. You've heard that before, where they're like, well, it's not like we're letting them loose out into the street. We give them phones, which, by the way, even though it's not on the document that I'm going to show you, I've actually called this phone. And guess what? The phone was sold. So, and it was just a couple days ago, like a couple weeks ago. But pay attention. So I want you to see here in this document. Ooh, I don't know if you can. Let me check the chat. Let me know if you can see this document while I drink my courtesy of Smoothie King. Jordan Sather used to make smoothies before he became a commentator. He's totally qualified. So as you can see here, and I'll post these on Telegram, or I'm going to put up a write-up report on ToriSays.com tomorrow morning, and I'll have that there. Here it tells them, hey, you're not an American. Hey, you're a Mexican national. Hey, this is the date we caught you. And it says we caught you. Let's see what date this one says. Hold on, because I have to zoom in. Okay, you arrived in the United States at our Sasabe, Arizona on or about October 17th, 2023. You were not admitted or paroled after inspection. You were not then admitted or paroled after inspection by an immigration officer. It says, according to 212 Alpha 6 Alpha I of Immigration and Nationality Act, as amended, in that you are an alien present in the United States without being admitted or paroled, or who arrived in the United States at any time or place other than that as designated by the Attorney General. Now, all the way at the top over here, it says their name, their foreign number, their file number, says where they are, and it says you are an alien present in the United States who has not been admitted or paroled. Now, I want you guys to understand, they got caught. They got caught on October 17, 2023. I want you to take a wild guess before I show you. When do you think they're required to go to immigration court? I'm gonna just go wait for that while I pull that image up for you. I just want to check all the chats, and remember, I have to go through a bunch of screens, so please bear with me. But I want you guys to kind of in the chat tell me, okay, if they were caught October 17, 2023, what would be the logical date you might have in your mind to keep Americans safe and to process these illegal invaders at our border of when they go to court. I'm just going to check the chats. Let's check Rumble first. Okay, 2 weeks. We got next year. We've got a lot of people saying far out dates. December 2024, 30-day limit, 2 years, whatever. Let's see what general chat for YouTube and Kick, 2 months, 3 to 6 months, 5 months. Someone said 10, 17, 33, like a passport, right? Every 10 years. 5 years, 90 days. Today, I thought we should have had same-day judges like President Trump did. Actually, here's the proof in the pudding. This person is they entered October 18th. They are to present themselves in court at the San Antonio, Texas Immigration Court. So they have to go to Texas. Wait a minute, but they got caught in Arizona. I'm sorry, I'm confused. On March 3rd, 2025 at 9 a.m. So this migrant that was caught on October 17th, they were documented October 18th of 2023, are told that they need to present themselves in 2025 of March in another state to go to court. Huh? Totally makes sense, right? Totally makes sense. So now you got caught in this state. Here's your new phone. Here's a couple $1,000s. Here's some free travel for you. And I'll show you the free travel too. I got receipts for that too. Again, let's see here. Is this the one that I want to show? Let me see. Yes. No, it's not. Give me a second. One moment. Let me pull it up. Give me a second. Because I don't want to burn my sources. That's the wrong document that I wanted to show. I want to see if I got it. Let's see. Looking through. Sorry, guys. There it is. Got it. I'm actually going to give away the airline. So if you guys are paying attention, I'm going to give away the airline. Okay, you ready? So here's their itinerary, you guys. They're flying, I guess, with Delta. They're going to go by bus, and then they go to the airport. They're giving them a map. Shit, we don't even get this when we paid tons of dollars for our flights. Here they get printouts, and it says, I don't speak English, please. Why don't we get this when we travel? Huh? Here, I'm taking the bus. I'm going up the escalator. I'm going to go to ticket in, show them that I don't speak English. Then I'm going to go through TSA, as you can see here, with the little guy getting searched. Here's my boarding gate. This is the flight that I'm taking to go to Denver. And guess what? I'm moving to San Antonio, Texas. So maybe that's why they're in San Antonio. It was decided for them that they will be living in San Antonio, Texas. So here we are. Here's your connecting flight. You're going to go to information and you're going to find out your gate, and then you're going to go to San Antonio. And that was all courtesy of us, of course. We're paying for that. We're paying for that. We're literally paying for that. This is not okay. This is not okay. We're giving them travel, money, phones. And you know what I noticed at JFK? No one speaks English. In fact, when I was in Florida a few weeks ago, I arrived really, really late, delayed flights, blah, blah. I think it was like 1 or 2 a.m. And I was so excited because I used some points and I was like, oh, I'm going to get a nice hotel that has a pool and all, right? Because it's practically free. I just pay the taxes. Everyone's there for golfing. It's like a resort. It was legit a resort. And I'm like, the guy told me to go to the second set of elevators. Where's that? No speak English. I'm like, alrighty then. ¿Yo hablando español? No. 4 guys. And the people in the elevators, when I found them cleaning them, none of them spoke English. None of them knew what I was talking about. And they work at the hotel. Same thing with JFK. Anyone traveling through JFK? Take a look. Everyone is speaking no English. So we are going to see homelessness go up like crazy because these jobs are being taken by these invaders that are being offered jobs, money, travel, and housing. Now, a lot of people could say, well, the United States doesn't have an official language. We're not obliging anyone to speak that language. That is correct. We have never stated an official language. And that was due mostly because of the, dissidents against the British, because English was that. That's why we morphed it into another accent and used other words. That's why you guys should totally look up this YouTube video called Americanish. I kid you not. This chick said she speaks Americanish. When I watched it, I really hoped that it was a comedic skit, because if it was real, that's all I have to say. Now, none of them speak English, and that's okay. If you're new to the country and you have migrated, okay, when you have invaded, taken my money and my family's money and been given airline tickets, court representation, a house, health insurance for free, and a job, but I have people who are homeless out in the cold that are Americans that may be sick and plagued with addiction, alcoholism, right? Or just shitty luck or bad decision. Or maybe they were assholes, complete assholes, and deserve to be slapped on their ass because they need to humble themselves to get back up, right? Could be anything. But we are not helping any of them. And let's not forget all our veterans who suffer from PTSD and other psychological illnesses because of the war. And wait till you see what really happens at war. See, there are a lot of people that talk about war like they know what they're talking. Oh, I play Call of Duty. I know what war is. Or, I watch TV. I know what war is. Or some may even tell you, I served and I know what war is. Well, no, you know a version of the war, right? For those of you that have actually been on the receiving end of a war, right? It is completely different. I don't know if I should get into that. But just so you understand war. Trying to collect myself because I'm remembering speaking with them. So I spoke last evening with a fantastic professor, a doctor, genius. And they were describing the war and how during the war, after being taken away to be slaughtered because they needed to genocide that country, their family was taken away. And then they realized they needed him because he's such a genius to run their hospitals and stuff. Kind of like, how the Nazis did when they grabbed all the scientists that were Jewish and saved them and didn't kill them because they needed them. Well, he said, well, then you have to have my family safe. Family went somewhere. But guess what happened to the family? They were out on the street, right? They lived through war, escaping concentration camps that were death camps because it was, again, a real estate deal. And this happened in the 90s. But him recounting that, he was with his wife. And him recounting that, I'm like, I don't think people understand war. See, speaking to this, my partner, right? Boyfriend, partner, whatever you want to call him these days. When they were in the concentration camp, that's when they knew they were at war. It wasn't when the snipers were throwing bullets at them. It wasn't when, they were seeing bombs fly out. They just knew, oh, people are just shooting. They get used to it as children, I guess. And even adults, they're scared, but they're like, what can we do? This is the situation, right? But they didn't realize it until they were actually put in a box. But when he recounted it, and we were talking about war now, they were like, hey, I've been through war. I've been through the worst. I'm good. And I've seen wars, observed them from both the receiving end side and the enacting end side. Observed. And on the enacting end side, I would say some of my intelligence and planning participated in it. And I can tell you, you have no idea that we're at war right now. Because just like them, you don't see that the whole world is literally on fire right now. The whole world is at war. The whole world is totally at war right now, and nobody sees it. They're kind of like, war? Okay, sure, whatever. No, this is war. This is the stage where you're kind of like, yeah, something's wrong. We still go to the supermarket, and we're fighting not to get it to the point where there's pure famine, right? Because we are at a stage of famine right now, and we're still not realizing it. Because it takes a few years to build up. It just doesn't go one day, Remember, they blew up all our food manufacturing plants, right? They're going after our farmers, right? Prices are going up, right? Our water's becoming scarce, right? They fought you for the past 2 decades to not have your own water, not allowed to have your own energy. Let's not forget that. Was it in Minnesota where they had him take out from his own property a windmill that he put for himself? Because it's like, no, you need to get your power from the government. Slowly but surely, they have taken us there. We're probably year 4 right now. I've said this before. The people of tomorrow, your children, your grandchildren, will look back and say, what did you do to avoid the situation I'm in now? What do you say? Well, I couldn't do anything. They're so powerful. I didn't say anything. Wore my mask, shared a couple memes. It's good. We have been in a perpetual state of war. Perpetual. Funny thing. At the airport yesterday. Wait, what's today? Yeah, yesterday. I ran into some National Guard. So weird. Ran into them in New York too. So weird. Let's have some of this Jordan Sather smoothie. It's not a smoothie, just to share. It's pure orange juice. I don't drink smoothies, just pure orange juice. Because as you can see, I have a little bit of a cold sore. I was sick. But anyway, ran into a few National Guards. So in New York, I asked, hey, I've been through these airports all the time. I have never seen a National Guardsman just hanging out. So I was like, hey, what are you guys doing here? And he's like, we are here since 9/11. I said, well, He's like, we've been activated since 9/11. I was like, well, we do really need to get rid of the Patriot Act. But why are you here now? Because I come through this airport all the time. I've never seen a National Guardsman. And the one guy says, So I walk and I'm like, I'm having a cigarette before my transfer. I'm getting out of TSA and I'm going to go. I go for a cigarette and there was a younger guy. And I was like, dude, what is up with all you guys crawling everywhere? Are you like here to watch on the migrants? You know? No, I'm not. He said most of us have been activated. A lot of us are getting on duty. It's like, that's weird. The other guy said they've been there since 9/11. This guy's this guy's telling me he just got orders. So as I travel, I noticed a guardsman on my airplane. So at some point, I asked the stewardess while I'm going to bathroom, damn, that's a lot of guardsmen. She's like, yeah, lots of them have been activated. I'm like, oh. But we all know what National Guardsmen are. They're under the control of their governors. Remember that. Unless, ... Now, having said that, let me show you some more of these fantastic documents that I wanted to show you. Let me see, is it? I believe that one's it. Let me see. Yes. So here is the document from Catholic Community Services in Southern Arizona. Every single one of you out there that live in Arizona right now should be all over this. All over this. This is your money being used rather than your community to people who decide to break the law and cross our borders. I want you guys to be paying attention to that. Lutheran Social Services, Catholic Community Services. Wait, but that covers Catholics, Lutheran, they're all spin-offs of Christian. Do we see any like Jewish community ones doing that? What about Muslim community doing that? No, we don't. We don't. We absolutely don't. I guess today, I just wanted to show you guys just one state. I've got Texas documents. I've got New Mexico documents. We have been invaded like nobody's business, and you're paying for it. Not only that, the money you give to your churches is paying for it. The tax subsidies your churches are getting are paying for it. And no one's going to fix it for you unless you do the work. You must do the work. Look within your state and do the work. I mean, I'm working here in Ohio, I guess. I'm going after the Ohio issues we have. The Ohio community services that are bringing Ukrainians like nobody's business into the state of Ohio. Nobody's business. Like that is the Ukrainian hub. All of us should be looking to our states as if they're sovereign nations on their own. That is how your state should be treated. And look to your state. You do not need any federal assistance with this. You need to use the power of the voice of the people at a state level. That is how you get things done. We say it, we say it, we say it, we say it. I don't know how to, I want to say a lot of things because a lot of people unperson people because they don't like them. I'm extremely sad today. I'm just going to say. I'm extremely sad because I saw people that I respected, people that I thought were good people, say things that I didn't expect. But I have to say, so I'm staying at as a guest at someone's place, which is so beautiful, by the way, right? Isn't it amazing? It's freaking awesome. But it's so cold. I can't even enjoy it. But I may go fishing. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Today, as I was sitting all alone in this place, some guy was trying to come through the front door. And a person that lives next door saw this guy going next door. Didn't recognize. They came out with their dog. It was a lady. And we had a really pleasant conversation. It was something totally benign, the guy with the turban was looking for. And you know what she said to me? She said, I have a young girl. I don't know what to tell her. Like, this world is really bad. She said that. And I'm going to urge every one of you, if you can think of it like this, tell your children and your friends not to try to do something other than be a good person, right? A good person will not spit on someone because they're homeless. A good person will not see children dead in rubble and say, well, that's Hamas. A good person and it's going to sound so bad. Even those people that are criminal and have committed crimes against humanity, you should never bloodlust for. Because it's so bad. You're just like them. And so yesterday I had to compose myself listening to these conversations. And I'm not a person that keeps her mouth shut, but I did because I wanted to listen. I didn't want to interrupt. But our society is so bad. And, I was really, new Speaker of the House said something that I've said before. Gun control. He said, guns are not the issue. It's society. And I said this before. When we look at what's happening right now with this whole conflict that just happened to appear, right? Because it's been ongoing for over, almost this fucking century. And it just happened, right? So think of it this way. Look how many people are bloodlusting over it. No, we are destroying the Palestinians. Palestinians were there before the Israelis. They're literally in the books before even the Bible. They want to eradicate them. It's their land. It's okay. That's not our war. It's theirs, right? But you and I should not be participating in that. That's not our war. That's not our generational bother. But as observers, we should all say no. As observers, we should say, all right, whatever, it's just land. And yesterday, someone was like, well, how are you going to do this? You don't have money. I was like, so if God wants to, he will bring it to me, right? If he doesn't, he doesn't. It's money. Money can happen like this, and money can go like this. Land can go like this. Land can go like this out, right? And so it is important for us to understand that these are human beings. How can you say thou shalt not kill, but I will kill because I don't like them, because they're associated with terrorists, because I see people say, oh, you're not with Israel, then you're for terrorists. And it's like, the fuck I am. I'm just not okay with you killing children. And you know what I don't like? The fact that every single road that I've been on in the past couple of days has had a mobile billboard showing all these Israeli victims and how they've been kidnapped to pander to us more. This is where I know it's not real, and it has nothing to do with war. Because when you're at war, you're not pouring money out to billboards to convince people to be on your fucking side. You are at war. You don't need anybody but the truth to show the people that they need to be on your side. The Armenians don't have fucking billboards, do they? For us to recognize their genocide, did we demand billboards to see it? Did we have to see the graves of them being thrown off cliffs? No. So if you're buying billboards to get people on your side, your war is not righteous. Okay? You don't need people on your side if you're at a righteous war. At a righteous war, you know you are right. And therefore, you do not require anyone else to tell you you're right. It's almost like the war we're at for our mind. I don't need another journalist to tell me I'm correct. I already know I'm correct. You don't need anyone to tell you that you have compassion. You already know if you do or not. You don't need anyone to tell you anything. You have more than enough knowledge to make those decisions on your own. Wars. Do you remember how the Tamils were on the seashore and they just bomb them and kill them all? Kind of sounds like the Gaza Strip right now. Just saying. No one's watching TV. So now it's buying ads on the internet and Facebook and paying social media influencers like Ben Shapiro to shove it down your throat and tell you how Jesus was a loser, right? And how you should support it. Or other journalists and publications that are filing things like, yeah, we should go behind it. And then you have the left who's like totally against it because they're bleeding hearts. They won't comply. But their leaders are all, yes, pro-Israel. It's so confusing. And this is why I said, if you have to pick a side, just pick a side of humanity and just say no more. Just say absolutely No more. We are not doing this anymore. It is 2023. You're having wars for our minds. Again, fake news, real wars, and rumors of wars. Sometimes I think maybe even in the past, some people may have orchestrated big massacres for the purpose of domination. I'll go through that this week at some point. There was a dynasty thousands of years ago that wanted pity from another nation. So they orchestrated their attacks on their nation, on their dynasty. They paid people to pretend they're assassins. And then they showed dead people, but not as many dead people. There were like 2 dead people, but they said they were 200. And they just took it was like this. And people just constantly kept recanting the same thing, but they were talking about the same 2 people, but it was like really 200 people, right? And so that it wasn't the Zhong dynasty. It was like the South Korean. Anyway, so they pretended that they were under attack. It was during the Zhong dynasty, I think. They pretended that they were under attack. So they went to the emperors or the leaders and said, oh my gosh, we're under attack. But it was their own people that took 2 people they just didn't like and killed them and said that they were constantly being harassed and attacked and that they're being slaughtered and that their whole generations are being eradicated and they're being targeted. And then that leader was like, oh, this is not good. And they were like, yeah, this is so bad. Look at us. We're all dying. And then that leader gave them like a portion of the land. And then the next generation, 2 or 3, they fucking took over all of it. Every single bit of it. Kind of makes you think history is repeating itself. And that's what sucks. History is literally repeating itself. And I've said this before. In wars, borders are redrawn again and again and again. So what's happening in Palestine isn't new. Genocide has been ongoing for a while, right? But it is 2023. And there's no need for that kind of barbaric response at all. What we need is to be on the side of humanity. What we need is accountability. What we need is to ensure that we are fighting for ourselves, not your mom, not your dad. Okay, and our kids, of course. But we need to be stepping it up for ourselves. We can't just expect others to do the work for us because you won't be there to enjoy the fruits of that labor. That's the way the rules are this time. You cannot enjoy the fruits of other people's labor anymore. Anytime you enjoy the fruits of other people's labor on their dime and post it as your own, or step on other people's fruits or steal their fruits, it will all be taken away. See, that is why everybody keeps calling it biblical. And this is why I don't like saying it out loud. And this is why I refrain myself from saying things that can stick. If we notice, there are a lot of people that are starting to show themselves that used to be in the Trump administration, want to be in the Trump administration, were here in office before the Trump administration, right? Everything. And then we have the journalists, the brick and mortar that sold out. And then we have the alternative journalists like Praying Medic that preyed on the people. recompense. I mean, it's almost Halloween, isn't it? Oh, I'm so excited. It's late on the East Coast. Hallows Eve, right? Hold on. Let me get to that. Give me a second. Did that really happen? It did really happen. Are you kidding? Give me a second. Find the file. And type like this. All right. So I wanted to pull something up, but it's not being my friend right now. Halloween is also known as Samhain. It's celebrated on October 31st, and its origins are that of Celtic, right? And pagan festivals. A lot of things in Christianity, Judaism, and Islam are actual pagan sourced, right? Because they're traditions that are handed down and then just kind of morphed. Over time, the Samhain festival merged with Christian traditions and has become Halloween as we know it today. Christian traditions and Halloween, stop it. And when you think of it, you're just like, what? Now, from the perspectives of modern Satanism, it's understood that the Church of Satan and the Satanic Temple, Halloween is viewed as like a celebration of indulgence and embracing one's true nature and you know and you know even though the Church of Satan will tell you, oh, we don't believe in Satan or deities or supernatural beings, that's what they say, right? It's literally just how they say it, a rebellion against arbitrary authority. Like if you actually talk to someone from the church, that's what they'll tell you, that it's a celebration of self, embracing in the carnal and symbolic recognition, like themes of death and supernatural and da 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 da. And that's basically what people tell you. Others will also tell you that Satanism in its modern form, you know, even though they don't worship Satan or deities, which is again bullshit, but we're talking modern Satanism. Um, Many of them say that it's to celebrate individualism and stuff. But think about it: they're giving candy to your kids. Like I remember as a kid, I think I was like 9, and I never liked Halloween. Okay, as a kid because I found it weird because everyone wanted to be terrifying. And I was like, why do you want to be scary? Right. It just didn't make sense, right, to me. Why would you want to be scary? Right. So my mom was like, no, you're gonna go trick-or-treating. You're gonna do normal kid things. You're just weird. So I took paper towel rolls and then I made cones and I was Madonna. You remember with the Jean Paul Gaultier boobs with the cones, right? So I wore like a bathing suit and I put those and did whatever and went out. And people would go and they'd be like, trick or treat. And then you put your thing out and they'd give you candy. I was like, how the fuck do I know if that granny poisoned me? Like, I don't want that shit. And why am I getting candies? So I just get a lot of sugar, right? Now, I took my kids out for Halloween because I didn't want them to be the weird kids. But you know what our tradition was? To take that candy and just give it away. That's it. We just gave it away. Like dropped it off at the homeless shelter, dropped it off like on the street with a box with a shit ton of candy. I just wanted them to participate with friends and have that, oh yeah, I did that too, where I get dressed up with my friends and walk around. And that was just to appease them on a social level. When they're too young for it. Hera stopped trick-or-treating like 10. Phoebe, same thing. When kids would come to my house, I would give them little calendars. When I was in New York, Metro cards. When I was in Oregon, I would hand out bus passes. I didn't know what to do. Like I didn't want to give them candy. Pencils, pens. I remember once I ran low on pens that my order didn't come. So guess what I did? I know it sounds really shitty. I went to Wachovia that was closing down anyway because they became Wells Fargo, and I took all the Wachovia pens. And I was like, hey, you guys are shutting down. So can I just take all these pens? So I handed everyone a pen and nice big candy bars. I mean, it's a fun thing to go get candy when you know where you're going, right? Because people are like, oh, this person gives like full candy bars. And it's like, so who cares? Your teeth are going to fall out. You're not even going to eat them. But the participation of getting something from someone, a gift, can be bifurcated. One thing my grandmother had told me, and I actually looked through, when I was at university, I stumbled upon anthropological records of American cultures, on nuances that they would do and stuff like that. She said, you never go over to someone's house without a gift. And I said, well, that's weird. Like, what do you mean? And no one will catch me dead going to somebody else. I don't care if I'm going to visit you for a second. I'll bring you one donut, or I'll be like, here's a pen for your house, or I will give you something. And the reason is because you appreciate their hospitality. So your thoughts are, I am providing this as a token of thank you for allowing me to be in your space. But it's bifurcated because my grandma also said, be careful of the gifts you give. Because if you give gifts to someone you don't like, it could be their demise. Let that percolate for a second. Kind of like intentions behind things. Now, veering off to that before I go, I wanted to pull something up and it's just not being my friend. So I'm going to let it be. Let me just pull this up quickly before I go. I thought I'd do. Canada today had to come out and re-clarify what they meant. They asked for a humanitarian truce in the Israeli-Hamas war 3 days after it had abstained from a UN resolution calling for one. So the UN came out and said, all right, listen, guys, we got to have a humanitarian truce because the people aren't buying this shit and we're not okay. Canada was like, yeah, we're not going to participate with the UN right now. But now they had to come out and clarify and say, no, we're all fine. We need an agreement from all the parties to get foreign nationals out, including Canadians, to release all the hostages and to allow for food, fuel, and water into Gaza. Wait, pay attention. We need to get all the foreign nationals, meaning anyone that holds a passport from another country should leave. Journalists should leave. Everybody should leave. Leave only the Palestinians. Oh, and you could give them some food and water and fuel. Why not? Why not? Pay attention to what they say. Netanyahu said that the second stage of the war started this weekend, and that violence in Gaza is expected to go up. I want you guys, just like body language pays attention to what people say, I want you guys to pay attention when these people are talking to you, because you can see where their intentions are from behind. He's already letting you know it's going to get real ugly. There's nothing you could do about it. Remember, it's the same guy that told President Trump he was going to help him kill Soleimani, fucked off last minute, and then took credit for it. Remember that. Remember that. That's what that guy did. The UN has come out and spoke about unpersoning people, but he's using the term dehumanize. Do you know why? They can't use the word unperson, and we should start trending that, because then people are going to be looking up this book called 1984 and then say, shit, this sounds like what's going on today. I think we got to stop this shit show. Man, I am so hurt right now. I can't, I don't even know what to say. We have illegal invaders coming in that are destroying and collapsing our infrastructure on our dime. That because of the anger we have that they're illegal invaders, we want to unperson them, but we can't because they're humans. Even though those same humans are going to be the reason we get destroyed because we see them as humans. Do you see where I'm going with this? This is the point that we're at. We had a shootout in Maine, right? Everyone's telling you it's crazy, right? But everyone missed the part that he had just started with new hearing aids. Were they telling him shit and hearing voices through the fucking hearing aids? Hello? It's like I really believe that they're pushing us to the point where dehumanizing the illegal invaders will be okay. And I don't want us to. I don't. I really don't. There are good people, very good people. I mean, that poor Colorado guy, he took his life rather than listen to the instructions he was being given. But that's not even out in mainstream yet. That is devastating. That poor guy had IEDs strapped to him and everything, and he took his own life rather than take the life of others. May God have mercy on all their souls. And that is all you should be saying. If I am not a testament to how he takes care of your enemies, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. You must be kind. You must remember they're human beings. And I'm saying this now in 2023, even though it's not going to be something you're going to apply till next year. Don't lose your humanity. Don't use your humanity. Don't lose it. I mean, use your human nature to understand that these are just people. Just, when you want to kill someone or you feel hate toward them, picture them as a little kid. And remember, when they were 2, 3 years old, they had the world as their oyster and they were grabbing for things and they looked cute and they were dribbling and they were just like you and just like your children. They're somebody's kids. Do not lose your humanity. Have faith in humanity, because the more faith you have in humanity, the more unity there is. There's no need to put people in boxes. Have faith in humanity. I'm telling you, the disappointed feeling that I had yesterday was just the icing on the cake, because there were other conversations as such. I'm going to stop there. But before I go, I want to tell you something funny, right? So I was on a plane and there was someone behind me and they were talking to me. And everybody knows I'm a little deaf, but this is my good ear, right? So I'm leaning over toward the window to hear them talk. And planes are loud. So I don't care if you're right next to someone, you're not going to fucking hear them, okay? And so they're telling me something about the flight. And I'm like, okay. So this guy, crossed the aisle from me, right? It was like, tells the person behind me, hey, I want this to be a quiet flight. And it's like, I think everybody was getting ready to go to bed. Long flight. We want to go to bed. And the way he said it was like, and I just turned around and was like, I just looked at him. Guys, I kid you not. He called the stewardess and said, she gave me a dirty look. I didn't even talk to him. And she leaned down and she said, so. And she looked at me and she was like, apparently he was a troublemaker. But I thought that was funny because he didn't say, hey, that guy or that gal were talking loud. He said, ma'am, she gave me a dirty look. I was just like, he was a very bad man. apparently. But my look can kill. See right through you if I want to. But he was not a very good person. It seemed like it. And but it was funny to see a grown old man, you know. He sat there and I think he was going to try to play the she's discriminating against me card. And he wasn't colored. You know, no darker skin, no nothing. He was an older guy that lives in Brooklyn. And he called the stewardess. He's like, hello. And mind you, because I fly that route so much, I think that stewardess recognized me. I'm the bitch that covers her head and sleeps. Right? And so instead of him bitching about the girl next to him making too much noise, and he was wearing earplugs, by the way, or the person behind me who asked me a question about the flight, he just called the stewardess because all I did was just looked at him like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like the plane hasn't even left yet. And this guy's asking a question and you're fucking getting yourself all into it. Like, damn. You sound vaccinated. It was really bad. I shouldn't have said that either. You know why? Because my whole family was vaccinated. And I shouldn't say that. Even though it's funny to me in a really twisted way, I shouldn't say that. I should do better. Man, Rick Pierce, I could sleep on your shoulder and dude, I drool. These lips, they drool. Anyway, so I wanted to tell you I'm working on this migrant thing, but I'm working on it from another perspective too. But I don't think anyone will know about that for months to come. It's a little bit different. But can we all celebrate Abercrombie and Finch? Oh my God. Everyone's like, oh my God, he's a pedo. And it's like, bitch, wrote about that shit in 2019. Like, if he's with Bronfman Wexner, it's definitely pedo land. So why would you even not talk about it before when everyone was all up in arms about Epstein? I hate to be Hillary today, though. I actually kind of feel bad for her. You can be like, why? She killed so many people. She's so terrible. Think about it. If you can't find a little bit of pity for that witch, you know, I don't know, man. She was going to be future president, right? Take a look. I want to share something that Elon shared. Give me a second before I go. Let me get Twitter up. I mean, X. The new WeChat, the American version of WeChat. Aren't you all excited? Pay your bills, vote, and pay taxes through your app. I don't hear the excitement. You should be very excited that you're going to be on the relay. And you have to be very careful because, you know, after the famine's gone and you're on the relay, it'll be a period of, oh, I feel like I'm free. But in essence, once the creators leave, I mean, the Elons of Mars aren't the same. Give me a second. Let's zoom in. I think the most successful meme was one that he posted the other day. Allow me to share. Please observe. Iran wants war. Look how close they put their bases. No, their country close to our bases. So Iran is surrounded by a lot of American bases, and we're blaming Iran for putting their country in the middle of it. I think that is one of the most amazing tweets I have ever seen. And he titled it, Oh, the Irony, IRANY. That's the irony. That Iran wants war, but we're the ones surrounding them. Biden needs war. Biden needs war. And it's facts. And many people are, oh my God, I can't believe it. You should. You should be standing up and saying what you want because it may be the only time you have to do that. Things may change. Oh, guys, did you see Defender of the Republic's outfit? I'm kind of jealous. She's like Storm. And having said that, I've met her. She's an incredible lady. She has an amazing family. She's an incredible lady. Kind of jelly, a very nice costume. But she should be wearing the mask and remembering things. The whole world is going to be watching. Tomorrow we should be posting all our Halloween items. And I'm going to be handing out stickers. Free Assange stickers, Trump won stickers, elections are rigged stickers, and our favorite, I did that stickers. That's what we should be handing out to trick-or-treaters. Stickers. Hey, you should give this to your mom and dad. And when they can't afford gas, tell them to stick this on the gas pump. Hey, don't like the fact that you can't afford your candy? Take this sticker and say elections are rigged, Trump had won. This is what happens when you vote for communists, like all that stuff. That's what we should be giving kids. Shit that they could take back home and say, oh, look, I did that stickers or miss me yet stickers. These are the things we should be doing. We have many ways of making our voices heard. Our I did that stickers went viral. We even had some dude take credit for the work you guys did, right? He came out on TV and said, oh, I invented the stickers. It's like, bitch, no, you didn't. No, we all conspired online and made them, right? So I don't understand how we made it up, but it's whatever, God takes care of people like that. Anyway, so the stickers I'm handing, Hera has a stack of Free Assange postcards. So we have Free Assange postcards going. We have, make sure I have a postcard for Ohio that I gave them. Well, it's been delivered because I'm not there, which says that they can send this postcard. So it has like a postcard where you rip it off and it says you can send this postcard to the state board of elections in Ohio and tell them you want to get rid of the machines. So they can get all those cards. Now, maybe the parents won't send it. Maybe some of them will. Get rid of the machines. If they won, they won. Why do you want the machine? Let's test it. I mean, that's the bottom line too. They're like, Republicans are so crazy. They think that elections are stolen. Okay, if they're not stolen, let's do it without machines and let's have a look. No, we're not going to do that. Why not? They're not stolen, so let's check. Oh, yeah, we don't do that. But anyway, make sure you hand things out. Pencils, pens, things like that. Don't participate in the candies and always have good intentions when you're giving things to people. It's very important that you have good intentions. So if you give someone a bottle of wine, when you go to the house, sometimes I'll go in there and unapologetically say, hey, I brought this so we could drink it together because I kind of like it. I do say that sometimes. Hey, this is for you. And it's like, but you kind of want to open it right now because I want to taste it too. I do that. I have good intentions. So this Halloween, I would highly recommend it for those of you that participate because it is kind of a fun holiday, just the whole experience. People come to your house and look at all these kids with their wide eyes and look at me, I'm a turtle and stuff like that. It is kind of a nice community thing, right? For those of you that are in the communities where there's like battles of designing and stuff, and I get it, but have good intentions when you're providing something and be like, here, I hope you have many healthy years to come, or I hope you do great in school, or here's this, the intention is everything. Even in crimes, when you're tried for a crime, you have to have an intention. I could walk out of a store right now with like a ham under my armpit, not because I want the ham, but because I'm too busy yapping on the phone. I forgot that I put that ham there 5 minutes ago and I'm walking out. Did I have the intention to steal it? Fuck no. But I forgot about it, right? Have good intentions. When you're giving anything to anyone, have good intentions. Just good intentions, right? Just good intentions, pretty much. my kid went as a vampire. I was like, why are you trying to be a creature of the night? She's like, so they could be scared of me. No, it's not good. I don't know how we do this. Everyone finds it as Fright Night. Isn't it interesting how they bring like the Michael Myers brands and all this murdery stuff around Halloween? It's so creepy. It is creepy. It's like cobwebs and spiders. I mean, I like the boo, but boo, look, I'm Hillary Clinton in handcuffs and Donald Trump's a police officer. Those are pretty good outfits, right? I'm just giving ideas. Now, fun thing, and I'm just gonna look at the chats now before I close out because I got stuff to do. Shit, and I'm jet lagged like big time. Let's say most fun costume. Who wants to go first? I just want to see like in the comments, Rumble, and then the join Kick Facebook, YouTube. I'm looking. What was your most fun costume? I'd like to call it. And you know what? I'm going to try to find a picture of mine. Stop. Okay. Let me get slightly offensive costume picture. This isn't mine though, because I think I deleted it because it was with the devil. Give me a second. And I want to see the chat. Like, I am interested to see what your funniest costumes are. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. Drunk Harry Potter, satin grape costume with purple pooches and a green hat. That's pretty cool. Scarecrow from Wizard of Oz. Dad Sailor, 280 biker all the time. My son is an alien this year. That's a cool costume. It is. Pregnant nun. Oh, okay. That was a good one. Batman. Let's see. Freddy. Ace and Gary. The ambiguously gay duo. Love it. Mimi. Frankenstein. Ghost. Let me go to Rumble. Dukes of Hazzard and Daisy Duke. Did you wear the shorts too, though, Mama Pen? Dictator, Bullwinkle when I was 5. Javelin Catcher, Pirate Skeleton, Smurfette, Border Patrol, Chiquita Banana. Stop it. You were what's her name? Charo? Chiquita Banana. 8-armed alien I designed for theater production. Nice. Donald Trump Batman costume would be awesome. Totally would. Ace of Spades. A booby. A booby. I like that. A bee that said boo. That's how they spelled it. B-O-O-B. So it was a ghost bee, which is booby. Caterpillar smoking a hookah. Alice in Wonderland. Cleopatra. Pippi Longstocking. All right. Let's see. I once made a pair of scissors. Bob Ross. Oh my God, stop. You're going to make me want to now go binge on that veteran that pretends he's Bob Ross and he paints. Hold on. I want to share a picture of what I wore. It's not me though, because I was with the devil. So I found one because I think it's like a really messed up idea. Don't hold it against me. So I was being forced to go to Halloween with a bunch of people. All of them were men, young men. I was tiny and young, right? And they would bother me. So it was like, oh yeah. And all the women would go in like cat suits and looking all like this. And I was I was super hot. So I wanted to go in a way where I just enjoy myself. Best costume ever. Titled Time of the Month. I think it was the best costume. Nobody can talk shit on that costume. I'll tell you what. Nobody could look me in the face. And that was fine with me. So I'm that type of troll. So I will do that. Now, on that note, I will let you guys go. I will be posting my trick or treating photos with my costume. That is so. Actually, I've seen my costume. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me show you my costume because I saw it somewhere flying around today. And I'm going to show it to you. Hold on. Let me pull it out. It was the Three Amigos dressed. Gosh darn it. Where are the Three Amigos? Where are the Three Amigos? I know I shared it. Three Amigos in my Halloween costume. Where are they? That's not good. Hey, Sai. Does anybody see it? Did it get deleted? Like, damn it. Where is it? You know what? It doesn't have to be there. Because I know I saved it on my phone because I was so excited. So I'm going to show it to you on my phone. No, I'm not, because then you're going to see all the other screenshots I have, and that could be really awkward if I were taking weird pictures that I don't want to show you. So I will put the example of the costume tomorrow. Okay, now I could show it. Here we go. There it is. I don't know. Can you see it? There's a light here. Look, on my computer. Can you see that? What a clean phone, Tori. That's my costume. That is my costume. And if anybody wants to go as a, I missed the way he'd say vagina. So yeah. Wait, what's behind me? Oh yeah. Yeah. Got our masks. What's that in? What is that? Yep. That's what I'm wearing tomorrow. Handing out things. So on that note, God bless. I will see you tomorrow morning. It can't be 9 Eastern. Can I do like 9 Mountain or something? Like, I'm going to try. On that note, I'm going to play a song. And I'm going to totally shill for my kid. Can I do that? Because I was like so excited. Can I do that? Is it really cringy? I really don't care, though. I really don't. I really don't care if it's cringy because it's my baby. So let me find it. My baby was driving me the other day somewhere, and my baby we were driving back from Detroit. So my little Phoebe, only in the state of Ohio because she hasn't gotten her full license, was driving me back from the Michigan border to Cleveland. And she had music on again and again and again. And then I noticed that on her Instagram, she had put the song and she was singing it that evening. Of course she would. That's all Phoebe does is sing. So I'm going to play it for you. And she's going to hate me for doing this. And it's totally fine. So that's how I will end today's show with a little cringe troll. Probably because I miss my baby. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Trick or treat. Trick or treat. I think we want We want the treat, right? No tricks. No tricks, just treats. Here we go. She's gonna hate me for this, and I'm okay. Hold on. How do I do this? Rewind. Here we go. Did it do it? Yeah. Okay, there it is. She was singing Arabic. Sorry, guys. She doesn't speak Arabic, though. Okay, so I just showed for my kid one because I was very impressed that she was singing Arabic. Her accent was just a little bit off, but even if you didn't understand the words, you could hear the pain. And I kind of felt that it was necessary to show the pain that comes out from the annotation from songs. So I urge you, when you're watching the news and watching what's going on in the Middle East and Africa, listen to the songs of the people. You don't need to learn, you don't need to know the language to hear the tone. That's how animals understand when you're pissed off. You don't say, "Hey, fuck you, you little shit." You're like, "You fucking little shit, you ate my shoe," right? They know. So remember to use those frequencies. So yeah, I played that song because no one can ding me for it. It's my kids singing. So it's a really hard day for me. It's the day before Halloween and it's not very nice. And it's extremely sad because what's coming is going to get even worse. So I guess maybe this is my public service announcement. Please don't unperson people. They're somebody's kid, no matter how much you hate them. They're somebody's mother, brother, father, cousin, uncle. But regardless, they're us. His breath is in all of us. So when you do harm to one, you're doing it to yourself. You just don't know it yet. Hence the paraphrasing of karma, as we say. You hurt another, you're hurting really yourself. And that's why when people attack me, I don't have the restraint. I'm getting better. I'm getting better to restrain myself from responding because what they're going to go through is worse. And for those of you that have been with me since, almost 10 years ago when I started flapping my lips quietly, they get what they get. They will have everything destroyed by their own hands, not others. So just remember that when you partake. And I hope that God forgives them because they don't know what they're doing. So don't partake. Pick the side of humanity always. On that note, God bless. And I will disconnect the channels because I really want to play a song. So Kick, Facebook, and YouTube and Twitter are on their way out. Ciao. And for those of you on Rumble, I really, really want to play a song.